Okay, so let's start with the block. Go ahead and grab your block without any of the balls in it. And we're gonna start on our side. So we're gonna take the block on its middle height. And when we lie down, it's gonna kind of hit us right on the rib cage here. So just place it so it's going parallel to the short end of your mat. And then when you come over the top, you can kind of adjust it, but that block is kind of up towards where the armpit crease is here. And if that's too high, then you can just move it down a little bit. For this one, I want to kind of catch a little bit of the side of the ribs and a little portion of the back side of that shoulder blade. So once you come down, just again, we're not going to be right in the crease. You're just a little lower than the crease of the armpit. And we're just going to have enough space behind you on the block that you can rock yourself forward and back. So if I think of my sternum having a flashlight, it's going to point straight ahead, and then I'm going to slightly roll back and lean back till maybe it comes up towards where the wall and the ceiling meet, and then I'm going to come back in. And you can go farther past that 45-degree angle of rotation if you want. We're just trying to clip a little bit of the back of that shoulder blade edge, right? So that more lateral edge of the shoulder blade of the scapula there. And just take a couple moments here just to kind of feel the sensation of the pressure of the block, making some contact. And if it feels better to just stay still, you can always just stay still. And if you find somewhere along that path that feels like it needs a little more attention, you can just pause there and just take a breath. Good. So now we're going to take this block. You can just place your elbow back down, push yourself on your forearm, and just turn the block slightly so that now that outer edge of it is pointing towards the upper right corner of the mat. With this, we're going to now go right into that webbing of the armpit. Okay, so make sure if you've got breast tissue that's in the way, you pull it off to the side so that now that block is kind of straddling the front of my arm bone and it's hitting just a little bit of the pec muscle right on the rib cage. So again, I don't want this to be painful in any way for your breast tissue, so just move that off to the side and see if you can hit a little bit of the front of the arm and a little bit of the pec, the chest, that hits the rib cage here. Now, if it feels good, you can even stack your hands to like let your head rest on your fists. And I want to try to relax here the best I can and not use any muscle energy, or at least as little as possible. And we're just going to take maybe 2 big breaths here. Really think of making that breath a nice 3D breath, right? I want to breathe into the back side of the body, the sides of the ribs, the belly, and the chest. And maybe just one more nice inhale and exhale. Make it full. And slowly start to use your arms to press back up. And we'll just go right over to the other side. If you want to take a moment in between the two and just check the difference in tone and tension in the shoulders, even just blood flow and circulation. And then we're going to go right over to the right side, or whichever other side you were doing. So back to that block being parallel with the short end of your mat. Elbow goes onto the floor to prop up your head. And again, I'm going to rest my ribs. I'm just a little bit below the crease of that armpit, right? You're just a couple inches. So I'm more on the sides of my ribs, maybe right around where your bra strap is. And then from here, again, just have enough behind you, enough space on the block behind you that you can slightly rotate your chest up and down. So bringing back to that flashlight sternum flashlight. We're just going to tilt it back and forward. And this side might feel different than the other. So again, if you find a spot somewhere along the route there that you want to sit with and just breathe into, feel free. And take just a couple more moves and then I'm going to rest. Good. Find your spot somewhere. If you want to just take maybe 2 more big breaths here while you're just paused. And again, I want to feel that lateral movement of the ribs as I breathe. So I want to feel like I'm getting the breath fully inhaled to move the ribs in all 4 directions, out to each side, forward and back. Okay, here's where we're going to angle the block. So press back down into the forearms, lift yourself up, and just turn that block corner or block edge up towards the corner of your mat. So now it should be at that upper left corner if you're on the right side. And again, I'm just going to kind of make sure that the breast tissue is on the side of the block and not being compressed. So that now we hit a little bit of the sternum, a little bit of the front of the arm. And if it feels accessible, you can rest your head on your fists. And we're really just trying to let go so that our body weight is supported by the block. And any gripping or tension in the neck and shoulder can dissipate. So try to really breathe into that space. If you're feeling like there's musculature that's still gripping and trying to help, see if you can just send that exhale there and have it soften and release. Just 2 more big breaths here. Good, press yourself up nice and slow. And we're gonna take that block back onto its parallel to the short end of your mat position so that we can put our shoulders on the block. So once you come down, just remember the block moves, so be careful. We're gonna rest our shoulders on the block. So I come down on my elbows, get that block kind of situated under my shoulder blades, and then you may have to adjust it once you start moving, but I'm just gonna take my arms up, I do little taps just to make sure my shoulder blades are free and can move around here. And then I'm gonna bring my hands behind my head. We're gonna start with the elbows nice and wide. Bring your belly down towards the floor, let your low back hammock down, and then you're gonna press your head back into your hands and let your head and shoulders come over the block. Elbows nice and wide, feel the chest stretch. And then you're gonna exhale and curl up, and I want you to activate your belly, so I want you to feel that deepening of the pubic bone drawing towards your chest, ribs dropping down. And then inhale, keep the low back and the belly engaged, and then move the upper back into this extension. And exhale, curl it up. 2 more with the elbows wide. So I'm really trying to make this isolated in the upper back. So the only change that happens in my low back is maybe just when my abdominal crunch happens, I might deepen a little bit of that pelvic tuck. But otherwise, we're trying to keep it pretty neutral. Now, can you hug the elbows in towards your face and do that same action, moving yourself up and back over the block, keeping the low belly fired up and supported, and then exhale, curl it in. Inhale up and back, just draw a line with those elbows on the wall, to the ceiling, to maybe the wall behind you. And exhale, curl it up. 2 more. Last one. Good. All right, roll yourself up. Go ahead and move the block out of the way, and now grab for the ball. Okay, so first we're gonna have the ball under the shoulders. So come on down and kind of find that same placement that we just had the block, and then bring your hands behind your head. All right, bringing the right leg up into tabletop. I want you to feel your belly have to turn on. Can you get your little waistband down towards the floor? And then bring that left leg up. Again, continuously dropping the waistband down towards the ground. So don't let your back arch away from the floor. Now, holding this position, you should feel like you have a little support from the ball. We're gonna go for those toe taps. Now, if it's too much with your hands behind your head, you wanna bring them to the floor, you can. I like supporting my neck. My head gets heavy. Good. Just finding that nice steadiness in the center line. Feeling the belly turning on as you move the legs. Let's go ahead and add some twists. So now as the knee comes in, rotate to one side, rotate to one side. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1. Place both feet down on the floor. Now just do little ab crunches from the upper back. So keep the feet planted, little pulse up. Now every time I lift my head and chest, I'm deepening this crunch between the ribs and the top of my head. So I'm not only doing my upper body lifting, but I'm also doing a little tuck of my tail between my legs. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up. Reach your hands forward towards your knees, and we're just going to do side-to-side crunches. Right hand reaches, left hand reaches. Right hand reaches, left hand reaches. So this is more of a lateral crunch, side to side, reaching toward the knees. Let's go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1. Hands back behind the head, elbows go wide. You're gonna let your head go up and back like we did with the block, right? Let it go up and over the ball. Plant your feet, make sure you've got some stability in your feet. Because then we're gonna exhale, curl the head and chest up and lift the glutes up off the floor in this little mini bridge. Then you're gonna drop the butt back down. Inhale, let the head and shoulders go back. Exhale, curl it up, deepen the tuck, lift the hips. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of a back bend here. It's pretty universal throughout the spine. And then when it comes up, I want to try to feel this flexion. So it's almost like I've got a little bit of a cat and cow action, right? Arching the back for your cow, and then rounding like an angry Halloween cat. See if you can make this lift of the glutes more about your abdominals in the lower region of your hips, trying to pull the pubic bone up and in. So make that the initial movement. Then the glutes fire up to help. Let's just go for 5. Here's 4. 3. 2. 1. Hold it up here. Little pulses of the upper body, little squeezes of that pubic bone in. Here's 8. Make it small. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way down with the hips, all the way up and back with the head and shoulders. One last big breath. And then bring it in. Prop yourself so you can move that ball under your pelvis. So now we're going to take that ball under the hips. Now don't have it so close to your waistband that you arch. I want you to have it a little closer to your tailbone so that when you come up, you do feel that you can have, again, that kind of sensation of the waistband going down towards the floor. All right, so from here, we're just gonna leave the head and shoulders on the ground and extend the legs out across the room and then pull them in. Legs go out across the room and in. Let's go for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, hold those ribs in, 2, 1, hold the legs out at a 45 or anywhere along that line that you feel like you can maintain. And we're just doing these little swimmer kicks. So they're just going up, down, real small. There's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees in. We're going to take right arm, left leg, up and back, reach away from each other. Come to center, switch. So start to get light on your fingertips and see how stable you can be as you switch the arms and the legs. Maybe you don't even have to have both hands on the ground at the same time. Maybe they can start to switch somewhere in the air. Find that concentration, look for something to look at that's not moving. Cinch in the core. So you feel that supported system around the spine, right? Feels like a corset kind of cinching in. Let's just go for 3, 2, 1. Good job. Both hands come down. Again, keep those kind of light cupcake hands here, right? They're just really light fingertips on the floor. And then I'm just going to have you take your knees out wide, keep your feet together, and we're going to tap the ground with the toes or the heels and pull it back. Tap the toes down and in. So again, I've got my knees kind of diamond shaped. And you can keep the hands there, or if you want to try bringing the arms up, you can see about bringing the arms up for balance here. Just playing a little bit with how our brain sits and juggles all the things it needs to do to keep us balanced on the ball. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Put the feet down. Lift the hips, take the ball out from underneath. Go ahead and just set the ball somewhere. We'll use it again a little later, so just keep that ball somewhere close by. Grab the back of your thighs, and let's get a couple of rolls on the spine. So just rolling up to the sit bones, rolling back, rolling up, and back. 2 more. 2, and 1. Good job. Roll over those hands and knees. Come on to all fours. Now let's actually get that cat and cow here. So we're going to round the back, lift the sternum. Feel like you draw pubic bone and chest towards each other as you move your shoulder blades apart, and then draw your shoulder blades together as you take your tail up and your chest forward. 1 more. Good. Tuck those toes under. Get a little rounding to the back, and we're just going to hover those shins. Just pausing here. Give me just maybe 2 or 3 breaths, just holding. Just check in with the body and see where you can find a little bit of ease, right? We've got it now under this place of duress, so we want to try to see if we can find some softening here. 1 more breath. Good. Step it back into your plank position, holding here. Chest reaching forward, hands energetically dragging back, toes dragging forward, tail lengthening towards your heels. 1 more inhale, exhale. All right, shift your body weight back towards your heels and then forward over your wrists. Back to the heels, forward over the wrists. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, hold it back. Here's your little pulses over those shins. Get low, Get those shins parallel to the ground, tilt your butt up. Here's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start to straighten into the legs. Downward facing dog. So turn those arm bones a little bit out. Keep your middle first finger pointed forward, but can you externally rotate so that your biceps turn forward? Try to relax your neck and shoulders. And then push your hands forward energetically so that your upper body goes back towards your legs. And try to get a little bit of your weight back in your legs. Again, just pedaling the feet back and forth, just elongating the whole back chain of the body. Give one more breath here. All right, so go ahead and settle somewhere in between those two legs so you don't feel like one's bent, one's straight. We'll just take them both soft. Bend the knees a little bit. Keep your hips moving up and back. Draw the front ribs in. Okay, now from here, we're just gonna have this little soft bounce feeling. And then we're gonna take the feet to jump the width of the mat, landing soft, and then back together. Width of the mat, soft landing. So when you land, I want you to think of how you would catch an egg, right? You would bend and softly catch as you land with the egg in your hand. So try to think of that same feeling with the thighs, the ankles, the knees when you're doing these jumps. Kind of like a little jumping jack here. Let's just go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Right leg goes up and back. Reach it back to the back end of the room. Straight leg. Bottom leg can be bent if you need to, or the heel can be up. All right, slowly, right knee to right elbow. Hold it there. One more breath. Take it over the left elbow, hold it there. One more breath. Step in between the hands, lower that left knee. Bring your hands to the inside of that right foot. So swivel the right foot out a little bit. Take a breath. Okay, wiggle that right foot back into center here. And now we're just gonna shift your weight back, straightening that front leg. You pull the heel back, or the toes back, so you're on the heel. Now, if you need extra padding for that left knee, go ahead and grab it. But I wanna see if we can work with our hands up. So you're gonna reach your hands towards the front of your mat with this straight leg. See if you can balance. And then we're gonna bring the foot down to the floor. You're gonna let your head and chest come upright, and we're gonna reach the arms up to the ceiling. Hips fall forward. Now engage the core here. Exhale, straighten the leg back, reach towards your toes. Flat back extends forward from the hip. And then inhale, place the foot down, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward and reach. Inhale, place the foot down and come up. 2 more. Good, last one. Now coming forward, your hands come down in front of the heart. We're gonna just rotate and hook that left elbow on the right knee and turn towards that right thigh. Give yourself a breath. Now tuck the left toes underneath you, press into the foot, and so you just lift that left knee up off the floor. So now we're in this lunge with the rotation here. Hug the right hip into middle, so don't let the right hip pop out to the side. Can you press enough into your hands that you lift your belly up off of that right thigh? Keep turning the chest towards your hands as you lift your left hip away from the floor. One more breath here. Good, now look forward in front of you. Bring that left hand about 10 inches in front of that right foot, and then go ahead and pick that left foot up off the floor. So now I've got my right foot and my left hand on the ground. And you can keep this right knee soft, but can you start to extend that right arm up to the ceiling? Good, now slowly here, we're gonna keep the left hand on the ground, but can you bend both knees and bring that left knee behind the right as you bring that right hand down and reach under the left arm. And then I'm gonna open it all back up, straighten the legs, and reach that right arm up to the ceiling. Slow exhale brings both knees to bend, left knee taps behind the right, right arm reaches under. And then I'm gonna expand back out, straighten both legs. Reach the right arm to the sky. You can move a little quicker now that you've got the action. But I want to feel like I'm lifting up off of that right leg. So try not to be too heavy in the hip joint here. I want you to feel like the muscles are all activated in the leg. Here's 6. 5. 4. 3. You can even work with that left hand floating if you want. 2. 1. Slow step that left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Inhale, come up, crescent lunge. Good, just take a moment here. All right, all the way down to tap the floor with the fingertips on either side of that right foot. And then we're gonna come all the way up to standing upright with crescent lunge and reach the right hand back behind you. Back forward, go down, tap either side of the foot. All the way up, reach the right hand and rotate. Good, you can pick up the pace once you've got the movement. Here's 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. All the way down, hands on either side of the foot, set it back plank. Holding here, looking forward. Now just lower the knees. Here's our chaturanga push-ups. Elbows squeeze into the ribs. Hover the belly over the floor and then press back. So go as low as you can before your shoulders want to dive down to the ground. So I really want to keep those shoulders hugged behind me. Here's 7. 6. Take that whole body with you. 5. If you want to bend your knees and bring your heels in, you can. 4. 3. 2. 1. All the way to the belly. Straighten the legs back. Turn the toes towards the floor. So you're going to lift from the inner thighs here. Then reach the hands back, lift the pinkies, and just get everything to feel like it's elevated off the floor. But more importantly, can you lengthen the toes away from the top of the head? Give me just one more big breath here. Shoulders up and back. Good, exhale, hands under those elbows, push yourself back to your knees. Child's pose, take a breath here. Good, tuck those toes under, go back, downward facing dog, pedal the feet. All right, inhaling, that left leg's gonna go up and back. Pause here, just get that feeling of somebody lengthening back, pulling you back by your left leg. Press the hands down and forward. Relax your neck and shoulders. Straighten out that left leg. All right, shift it forward. Left knee, left elbow. Hold it. Hold it. And then switch it. Right elbow, hold. Hold. And step it between the hands. Lower the right knee. Just wiggle the left foot out of the way. Hands on either side of that, hands on the inside of that left foot. Just letting the hips fall for a couple breaths. Checking in with your breathing, try to slow it down, make it full and consistent. Okay, walk that left foot back into the middle here. And we're gonna flex back on the toes as you bring your leg to straight. Top of the head's gonna reach forward. So I wanna keep my sit bone kind of angled down towards the floor. Watch that as we move. Now can you start to pick up your chest off the thigh? Reach the hands forward. Now each side's gonna feel different. All right, let's put that left foot down. You might need to adjust once you start moving. Hands come up, head and chest come up. Exhale, flex it back. And reach it forward. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge back, reach forward, flat back. Place the foot down, take your time. Full inhale up, full exhale forward. One more round. Good, once the hips come forward, hands out in front of the heart, hook that right elbow on the left knee. Now again, we're just gonna press into the hands. I want you to keep lifting the right hip away from the floor, and turn your chest towards the thumbs. Relax your head and neck. Get some freedom in the head and neck movement. Hug those shoulders down out of the ears. Give a little squeeze around your brow line. Now back toes are tucked. Feel like your belly's lifting up off your left thigh. And here we go to pick up that right knee. So again, just staying here. Keep pressing into the hands. Keep lifting the thigh or lifting the belly up off of your left thigh. Keep lifting your inner right thigh. And make sure your left hip is hugged in towards center so it's not popping out to the side. Just take maybe 2 more breaths here. Get that left knee right over your heel. One more. Okay, right hand's gonna come down to the floor about 10 inches in front of that big toe of the left foot. Slowly walk the right foot in and then lift it up. Okay, now we're gonna just turn your chest to the left. Reaching the left arm up to the ceiling. You can always be soft in this standing leg. All right, slowly we're gonna bend both knees. You're gonna bring them together, right knee behind the left, and then reach that left arm through and under. And then open everything back out and reach the hand up to the sky. Slowly compacting in, bringing the knees together, making a little ball as you reach under your arm. And then opening and expanding back out. You can move a little quicker once you've got that movement. Here we go for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Extend it out, slowly bending that left knee, stepping the right foot back, coming up, crescent lunge. Take a breath here. Get your feet stable, so if you need to be a little wider, take the feet apart. All right, so we're gonna move the whole body from the pelvis up to the shoulders to tap the floor with the hands. And as you come up, left arm windmills back and opens you to the left. Hand comes forward, both hands touch down the floor. And then up and reach back, rotate. Good. So I'm trying to stay pretty stable here in that left leg. Feels kind of stationary. But the movement's for whole spine, tilting forward and coming up. Let's go 6, 5. I'm just gonna reach my right hand forward as I come up. 4, 3, 2, last round. Good job, both hands come back up. And exhale, both hands down on either side of that left foot, step it back, plank. Looking forward. Feeling that strength from the top of your head to your heels, pulling your belly button up through your spine. Lower your knees, walk your hands wide. You can always stay on your toes, but we're going for push-ups. Elbows go wide to the side of the room. Try to get those wrists under your elbows so they're not too close together. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Again, your heels can always squeeze in. 3. Last one. All the way to your belly. Tops of the feet press down into the floor. Curl the head and shoulders and chest forward. And just take the right arm forward, left arm back. Now you're gonna pick up that left leg. And now we're gonna switch it. Right arm reaches back, left arm reaches forward, and the right leg lifts. Right arm reaches forward, left leg lifts. Left arm reaches forward, right leg lifts. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1. Both hands under the elbows. Press to your knees. Send it back. Child's pose. Take 2 breaths. Good. Tuck your toes under. Send your hips up and back. Pedal the feet. All right. Right leg's in. Inhale up and back. Exhale. Tap that right elbow to that right knee. Hold it. Take it over to the left elbow. Hold it. Step in between the hands. Pivot the heel down and come up warrior 2. Now you should have your hand weights somewhere close by. You guys have hand weights close by. Go ahead and grab those. And if you don't worry about it. You can just use the weight of your arms. So right knee is gonna bend right over that second toe. Okay, get yourself nice and low into that warrior 2 position. Palms are gonna reach out to the sides of the room. And we're just gonna turn the palms down and up. Down and up. Now we're gonna make those arms travel forward towards each other. And then we're gonna travel them back wide. Now, if you wanna add a little pulse in your right leg, as you do this, go ahead. We're just traveling forward and traveling back. Good, one more like this. And back out wide. Good, now just hold your palms face up, and then from here, we're gonna bend the elbows in, press them out, straighten the leg. Pull the elbows in, press them out, straighten the leg. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to that bent knee. Keep the elbows bent. Just punch them overhead to come towards each other, and then pull them back into the ribs. Overhead, into the ribs. Keep that bend in the elbow. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Rotate over that front foot. You can just set your weights off to the side. You can see again on the other side. Plank, step back. Now side plank, right hand to the center. Turn yourself to the left. You can stack your feet or have one in front of the other. Little lifts here just for 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it up, reach the arm over the ear. Other side, left hand down, turn to the right. Right arm up, little lifts. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it up, reach that right arm over the ear, stretch. All the way down, look forward. See if you can go through that full chaturanga here. Elbows bend into your ribs, slowly lower to the belly. Take your arms and legs out like a big X. Hold it here. Then hold your arms out wide to a T, hold it here. Then take your hands back towards your legs, pinkies up, hold it here. Good, hands under the elbows, press back, child's pose. One breath here. And we'll do the other side. Tuck the toes, send your hips up and back. Left leg inhales up and back. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, touch it and hold. Take it to the right elbow, hold. Go ahead and step it between the hands. Coming up, warrior two with the left leg forward this time. Grab for those weights. Left knee over that second toe. Okay, so now we're back to those palms, doing them up and down, up and down. Little pulses in the left thigh. Take those arms to travel forward, traveling back. Try to move from your shoulders. So don't just let this be your forearms. Let this be from the upper arm bone. Good, one more time, traveling wide and in. And if those arms get real tired, you just drop those weights. All right, bye. Pull those elbows back. Here's where we're gonna rotate hands up to the ceiling, straighten the leg, and hands back to the imaginary table. Straighten the leg, pull the hands back and down. Back and down. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last set. Bend that knee, punch it forward. Keep with me, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Put those weights down. Pivot over that left foot. Step yourself back. Slow chaturanga here. So you can stay on your toes. You can go to the knees, all the way to the belly. Stretch the chest. Take the right hand out. Roll under that right hand and shoulder. Good. Switch sides. Left arm out. Roll under that left shoulder. So I kind of keep my shoulder hovering, and I press into my hand and maybe even my forearm to feel like I'm lifting the shoulder away from the floor, really accentuating deep in the stretch. So I want to feel the stretch all through the front of the shoulder here. Maybe a little bit in the chest, maybe even in the bicep. Good, all the way back down to your belly. Go ahead and press yourself back to your knees, child's pose. Now check if this is okay for your knees. We're gonna tuck the toes under, send your hips back, squeeze your thighs together, and we're just gonna see if we can rock back up onto our toes to hover. Right, so my knees are up and I'm hovering on my toes, squeezing my thighs together. Just see if you can sit up here and get just a moment of balance. Good. Go ahead and have a seat. Let the legs come forward. Go ahead and bend the right foot, or right knee, and bring the foot into the seam of your left leg. Turn your chest over your left thigh and start to reach your chest and the top of your head towards your foot. Now you can walk your hands down. Maybe you can grab for your shin or your ankle or the bottom of the foot. And keep thinking of lengthening. Good, now turn yourself a little bit more towards the center of your legs and bring your left arm down to the inside of that left leg. And now the right arm is going to come up and over and you're going to get side bend here. I'm kind of using my arm and my leg as a pressure together, pushing the arm of the leg and the leg of the arm to kind of create a little bit of assistance for this rotation here. Perfect. And then come on up. Let's switch sides. So now my left foot's coming into the right seam. I'm gonna turn my chest towards my right thigh as I start to fold over the leg. And again, if you have somewhere on there you can grab to help lengthen you towards your toes. Come on up. Maybe you can even widen yourself a little bit and turn your chest more into the center. Now, right forearm to the ground, left arm over the ear. And again, I'm kind of keeping a little pressure between the arm and the leg here to help turn my right ribs forward. One more big inhale, exhale. Good, come on up. Take your legs wide. And you can either prop yourself behind you to tilt your pubic bone back and your sit bones back, or you can start to walk your hands forward. But I want this feeling of pelvis going back and chest going forward. So not rounding, but feeling this lengthening out of the pelvis here. So it feels like you're hinging from the hip. Sit bones going back. Take one more big inhale, exhale here. Good work. Bring the legs in. Shake them out. And you're all done. Good job.